Echo were once on the cusp of Call of Duty greatness. From a team that were just about to qualify for the Advanced Warfare Pro League to nearly qualifying for COD Champs the very same year. Falling just short, Call of Duty giants opted gaming. Everything looked good for Echo, and it looked to be in the up. What happened to Echo and why did they disappear? All that matters now is that we are back and we are ready to go. This documentary will follow our first entry into Call of Duty since Advanced Warfare. Echo is back.
I wanted it in a takeaway cup and he didn't give me it in a takeaway cup. I'm raging. But it's pretty good. Confident with the guys, like I know I've only been to one past event, but having that first event jitter's gone, and then plus obviously knowing Jack and Dan as well, and obviously meeting them as well before, it's a different feeling this time. Travel day was pretty good to start off with. No issues at all. Getting to London, everything was perfect. Even on arrival, everything was good. Just touched down in London. Flight was alright, a bit bumpy at the landing part of it, but just at the train station now, going to Stratford International. Hopefully meet up with Sam, Wreckage, go to the car box, get the team bands, and then float about until everyone else arrives, and then go to the house. That's the plan. In Shake Shack, met up with Sam. Probably bought the most expensive burger I've ever bought in my life, so it best be good. All these American people saying Shake Shack's the best, so better live up to the hype. That's all I'm saying. A good time. Nobody was really messing about. Everything was like, it was going too good. Something was gonna go wrong. It was gonna. And then that's when the news came in that our Airbnb that we'd booked had been cancelled the hour before check-in, so we were scrambling to try and figure out where we were going to stay for the weekend. Right, so we've just the call Airbnb. They have to issue a refund. The other boys are going to have to find a hotel room somewhere unless Dan can slot someone in, but I don't think he'll do that because he's got his missus there. I would be the same. So we come from, like, me and Dale come from Scotland. Fair enough, Sam's quite close, so it's not as much of a hindrance to him. But we fly here. We're under the impression that we have an Airbnb booked for all of us. That way we can all stay in the same house, reasonably close to the event. Get to the copper box to check in for the team, and Dale gets a notification saying that the Airbnb that we booked had been cancelled the day of arrival. So then I'm...
Not even the day of arrival, an hour before check-in.
An hour before check-in, exactly. So I'm fucking raging at this point, so I then panic book a hotel room so at least we have somewhere to stay. Expensive, but there's also now a cancellation fee because we now potentially have the option of getting an apartment for all of us for a little bit more money, but that way we're all within each other's fucking comfort. But right now we're currently fucking somewhere trying to find the spoons to get a drink, and I'm fucking beat, and I just want to lie down, and I also want to just play COD. Fuck. So we were scrambling to try and figure out where we were going to stay for the weekend. I panic booked a hotel just in case we didn't get any accommodation, and then luckily one of our friends, Dylan, found the house that we're in just now, and the person that owns this was kind enough to let us stay in. Thank God that happened, otherwise we were going to have to try and split between two different hotels, and it would have just been a lot more stress than what was needed. And we thought that was going to be the only kind of stress we'd come up against, but it got worse from there.
I'm Jamal Rocky Altendale, and I play for Team Echo Gamers. Well, travel day to start with was all right. I was just waiting for Jack, Sean and Alex to come down and visit. They were picking me up and taking me down. They got there about 11:30, 12. We set off maybe 10 minutes after they came down. Obviously it was quite busy coming down. It took about an hour and a half. Say about an hour before we got there, we got an email, well, a phone call from you guys, wasn't it? Saying the B&B was cancelled, practically making us homeless for the event. So we had last minute choice to try and get either a hotel or another B&B. That took about an hour, making it more stressful. And by the time we found one, we had to fork out £700-800, something like that, and practically left us no money for the, what, 4 or 5 days.
We're just looking for Rocky's passport because someone seems to have lost it. We might not get into the venue right now, or Rocky might not get into the venue. Right. We're just fucked. I'm sorry. You know what, Paul Glove, if you ever see this, Dale, we're sorry. We'll apologise for you as well, on our behalf. Paul Glove, yeah, we're fucked it, mate. We're gonna be getting round it anyway, so don't worry about it.
We fucking weren't. I don't give a fuck about that, pal. We fucking stuck together too long for that shit to fucking happen. What the fuck is HMRC?
It's like the government thing. They deal with like
No, I know what they are, but what
tax and national insurance. What about national insurance? National insurance. HMRC do national insurance, and if they link his national insurance to him, then they better prove it's him.
They need a photo saying that he's who he is.
Got a bank card, they could imagine.
If you literally know your expiry date of your passport, if we find it, St. Anthony, please fucking find this fucking passport, you retarded fucking saint.
I just don't understand. Like, I know I've asked you already, Rob, but fucking think, mate. Think to every minuscule moment that happened to when you had that in your hand.
I thought at first it was you. The fucking passport sticking out there.
No, I literally showed Sam and Alex.
Yeah. And used to 100% seen the thing in the flesh.
100%. I was sat there. He had his bag like on the floor beside here. He was sat where I am. Sam was over there. And he came to speak to us, and Jamal goes, "I've got to show you this, right?" Opened it up, showed Sam. I says, "Here, pass it here. Show me." Passed him it back. He goes, "Yeah," like that, or something like that. Put it away.
Where's the?
Where did you put it away?
I put it on the side of the sofa, and it.
So it's in. I reckon it's in that fucking sofa.
It's got to be that.
I'll fuck a sofa up.
I will break that sofa.
I will fuck a sofa
and
up.
hopefully we get prize money.
Do you want to fuck a sofa up?
We're already down.
No one can afford to.
Are we fucking a sofa up right now?
Lost my ID. So, just kept getting worse and worse, but it got better the next day, so it was alright.
Because Rocky couldn't be asked to get a fucking provisional.
Alright, let's do it.
Just take my anger out.
I'm getting round you. I've got Sean on the team. Me? Are you coach? I've got a better chance of Dale than you.
That's when Dale's cracked.
Dale, can you run a talk?
That's a no.
That's a no. Boys, Jack, I got Saul, we're good. Dale's your new Maddox.
So Sam, what's going on now, mate? That means when I get to you, they don't give me another job, so I can
Yeah.
go back, yeah.
Alright, great. Well, basically, I've managed to forget my wristband to get into the bloody event. And now we've got to go all the way back and come back as quickly as possible.
We're not playing the game.
Oh, we are fucked it. I'm actually fuming.
He reckons we're going to get there at 1 minute to 10, so we perfectly timed it. Oh, mate, this is a stressful day, mate.
One of those days, isn't it?
One of those days.
Hi, I'm Sean. Also known as Son here. I coach the boys at Echo Gaming. Just chilling right now. We're getting ready to see who we're playing against and where we're playing against in the open bracket. As you can probably see, there's a lot of stations down there. Most nights we've been practicing playing against scrims against people. Against other decent teams. There's been say about 3-4 months preparation. Boys have been practicing really well. We had a couple of wake-up calls when we played some teams. Definitely opened my eyes to help them out, tell them what they need to do to change. But other than that, looking very good going into the competition. Looking forward to it.
Today's games started with an unknown French team to us. They had a bad seeding, didn't know sort of who they were. Found out later that they were a pretty good French team that had been to a few SFCOs, knew the game on LAN, and we came out first map. Just they had far more aggression than us.
Never really heard of them, but again, they was very passionate about
Call of Duty esports, it seemed. We started off in high centre hard point, and we started off really strong, got the first hill really well, and then from then on it just spiralled out completely, and then we just basically just didn't know how to react to how they played and just battered the crap out of us.
Team strat over again.
You've got like one round, you've got a couple of pictures of snipe. Like we didn't. That wasn't a consistent map. We shouldn't have been 5-1 up. They choked.
It made no sense.
Yeah. We didn't have. It's not like we outplayed them for 5 rounds and then like we clutched up for 5 rounds. We made some like incredible plays to win 5 rounds and then we just couldn't. You can't carry on. Once the ridiculous plays stopped, we didn't.
We just ran out of ideas.
That's what you just need to do. You need to keep going at the same pace.
Yeah. What you
What's our second best?
What else can I do?
Probably payload.
Payload.
Yeah.
I say we try and pay.
You taking?
I think we have to. I think we have
Rather
to.
leave us in Dana's 1 to 2 respawns if that's possible.
Is that possible?
No.
So you're going frequency, grid.
Fucking frequency.
Frequency, grid, frequency.
We're just inconsistent. We just got to put it out. Someone's got to put it out.
I just get shut out. I got shut out on the high end and Jack got shut out. Like as soon as we
had 2 ICRs out, they had definitely.
No, I know. Like as soon as we, even if I had the Maddox at the full map, as soon as me and Jack get shut out, as soon as that happens, that map's a write-off because we're the ones that are supposed to be holding the outside lanes. If we're not holding the outside lanes, there's nowhere for the subs to go. If the subs can't cut the map, there's no leniency on us because then we're constantly getting pressure. So we had no room to breathe. You had no room to breathe. We literally, they just outplayed us.
Yeah,
they played us to their pace, and we couldn't combat their pace at all. Like especially on that map, like they played that map at a different pace, and we've never played a team that played that map like that.
We had 2 songs.
Yeah, they did.
Did we?
No.
Yeah, no. We normally played 3 medics.
You were the only shot.
Well, 2 medics.
We didn't realise after the game that they had 2 songs out.
Makes a lot of sense.
I can fucking tell now. Like, holy shit, these are
Do you know what as well? That. I don't know what his fucking name.
The Journey kid with the sword, yeah?
Whatever, he was fucking.
I don't know, man.
He was cracked.
I think just wait.
I just need a map where me and you can get
You two need to go fucking crazy. Like you gained so much confidence after that first match. Like you now know you can play on land. Fuck it, you're the best. Do you know what I mean? You nearly clutched up 1v3. You got past that first game jitters. You've fucking done it.
If they ban frequency though, because I don't think we're gonna have higher seed. They're gonna have higher seed than us. Yeah. What's up guys? Just been beating winners round 1 by some French people. Hi French people.
We love the French.
No we don't. Fucking frogs. Nah. If they ban frequency, I just play Seaside.
No, I say Arsenal. We have more of an understanding of Arsenal. We do.
I want to play Arsenal.
We have more of an understanding of any fucking map, man.
We have more of an understanding on Arsenal.
We're the most only like it's like one day we'll win fucking Arsenal, next day we'll win ICM.
We don't get the pick on it, so we just get rid of gridlock. If they get rid of gridlock, we get rid of hassle. We don't want to play it. We've just been beat bad on it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Our setup doesn't work. We run 2 ICRs and it does work.
No, we never used to.
I don't think we've ever played.
You only used to run 1 ICR.
It doesn't work on land, it's double ICR. I thought we always run 2 songs. Stu had the shit box.
Bingo.
It happens. He had the shit wire.
Something wasn't right with my screen. I seen it flickering.
Yeah, the ICR.
Damn right, that fucking.
Clear starting fucking front here.
Jack didn't realise that the ICR literally shoots pellets on land. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is?
Actually making the ICR look good.
Do you know what it is, mate? Honestly, that Maddox fries.
Does it?
It's getting put on Twitter. That biggest catfishing at the cutscenes.
I'm not using anything other than a Maddox now for the rest of the event. For however long we can. However long we can. Fuck it. However long we can stretch this shit out.
I'll still use an ICR, me. I'll beam with it. Just watch.
Do you know what it is though? Trust me. Do you know what it is? Jack can't take over games with an ICR. It's just not going to happen.
We need.
You're going to have to just get in front of me and I'll just fucking weaken them for you.
Right, so what? Before, we were just trying to get on and practice as best we could. We were in a rut. We were losing a lot of maps. We were going on. We were finishing scrims like 2 to 15 map counts, 3 to 14. Like it was, we were losing a lot. Somehow, still stuck through it. A lot of teams would disband after nights like that, and we had weeks like that. It wasn't just nights; we had weeks like that. And then one night, we just asked Sean to spec our scrims. I don't know why. It just happened. And he gave some really valid input because we knew we had an issue but we didn't know how to address it. We knew it was a pacing issue and some other issues, but like I said, we didn't know how to address it. So after Sean gave us the advice and it showed, I messaged him straight away and I was like, look, do you want to be our coach? Because we need like that outside opinion that can give us that different kind of point of view that we aren't seeing as players. Like, we're all just butting heads, and he was coming from a completely outside perspective, not a player perspective, just a spectator / coach perspective. And he kind of tightened up what we needed tightened up and made us well more refined. And after a few weeks with him, we slowly, gradually noticed that we're winning. We're like doing scrims that were like maps counts like 7-7, 8-8, like things like that. We were much more balanced out. We're trading maps with good teams. So Sean brought a lot into the tables. It was really good for him to come on board.
My expectations for the event, I thought it would do well, not too good, because of the preparations for the event. I just didn't want to get rounded because that's what I'm known for, kind of, really. I had a little bit of a point to prove if I could, but yeah, that's about it.
After that, we was waiting for our losers round 1 game, and we went against a good rivalry team of Razakod and Pluxer. We had a lot of, let's say, interactions with them on Twitter, who basically made it a lot personal than what it should have been. And going into this, they thought they were going to basically slap us. Going into frequency hardpoint, we went up quite a lot, and we started to slowly choke. But towards the end, composure came into it, and I think my team did the best, especially for like helping me out to get that win.
We then had to play S&D. We sort of got blown out. They played it a bit weird. I don't think they really knew what they was doing, and they just sort of winged it, and it sort of worked. That can happen on S&D, we all know it. Then we get to the control.
It was our best map, best game mode. We were completely controlling the pace of that. Went 2-0 up. Then we were prepared for them to win 2 rounds. We were prepared to go the distance on control because we practiced it a lot in scrims. And it ended up going to the round 5.
So then last round I pulled out an ICR, and then basically the teamwork was just there. We ended up capping the first point very quickly. Going into the last point, one of our teammates, Wreckage, pulled out a war machine and decided not to trust basically two of the players, Stu and Rocky, and ended up killing them and himself.
When Sam made the mistake of not trusting us and launching the war machine in, it tilted me. My head was a bit messy there. I looked at Jack and I was like, what has just happened? We've worked to get this point. We've got the point, and he just took everything away that we just worked for. Didn't know Jack was close to streaks. I knew he had his vision, I knew he was going to time it, because that's just how he plays vision. So I was worried, but I wasn't scared. Like, I was worried about the play that had just been made, because we did make it harder for ourselves, but I still didn't think we'd lose. I still think we're alright, because I still had my Tempest to use, and he still had his vision, so I was thinking about that. And even before he popped his streaks, we'd managed to retake P1, and I'd popped my Tempest to hold the blue angle. And we had like 3 or 4 players. I think we had all 4 of us on the point, and Jack popped his streaks just as a safety net. So at that point, when the streaks started coming down, it was just more of a kind of reassurance that they weren't going to be able to get into the point. But it was a bit messy.
Don't let you kill me, bottom orange, kill me, bottom orange. Fucking
Come on! Fucking go, boys!
You're not. I know, but let's go.
You're fucking pissed.
Losers round 2 versus Plaz night. We knew who we were playing. We knew who we were going into. Played them online. They beat us a few times. We knew that they were a good online team, but I'd never doubted for a minute that they would perform on LAN. Going into the Seaside, we started so slow. This final score was 250-196. We could have easily beat that if we hadn't given away like 70 points at the start. It just started slow. I think it was because we were coming off of a really intense match with Pluxy and that. We were a bit drained. It was very, very late at night as well. We were a bit drained, so I think coming out with not enough intensity kind of shot us in the foot in the hard point.
Going into the S&D, we decided to play Gridlock again, which was a stupid idea again, but we didn't. We just went into it with positive mindset. We ended up going 4-0 up,
feeling confident, and then we just did the exact same as we did in the first round and choking. Went to round 11. Rocky basically made a questionable decision, but because it's his first LAN event, again, everybody makes mistakes. You just gotta let it slide, and just learn from that mistake. Again, he had played really well for his first LAN event. I would highly recommend, if anyone wants to play with him, pick the guy up, man. Like, he's going to be a beast if he listens.
Same story as the matching of the French kids. Ran out of ideas, ran out of gas, and ended up throwing that S&D 6-5.
Got me, one shot. Let's go!
And lost that match and went out of the tournament. But when I look at it if I step back and look at it, it's crazy how close it actually was. Yeah, we did throw a 4-1 lead. They threw a massive lead in hardpoint. We had them on 249 points from about 3 hills. So again, just going at it, looking at it as if we don't start slow, then we win that hardpoint. And if we find out how to close out our S&Ds, that's a 2-0 and we go on Saturday. So it stung. It really did sting, but I was proud of the guys. Dan had an absolute incredible event. Really showed that the work he'd put in at home, like it really showed that he'd put in a lot of work at home. And Rocky, for his first event, everybody makes a mistake, but overall event, he had a good performance for his first LAN.
And we choked again in the S&D 4-0 up and they won 6-5. Again, on gridlock. But is what it is. Happens at LAN.
Improvement-wise at the event, I reckon the night before we had a lot of issues with stuff going missing. I reckon if we sat down, because I brought my PlayStation down, and we could have gone through a bit of S&D footage looking at how we could have done more strats on, like, let's say gridlock, or we could have done it on other maps like payload, and we could have worked around them. Hardpoint was going to be a no-go. It was just how we came out on the day. But I reckon if it was just our S&D in control, I reckon we could have easily got losers bracket round 4 with our S&D. Our S&D let us down so hard this event, and S&D just gets you further in tournaments, as you can see. If you win maps 2, you're going to have that momentum going into map 3 compared to the other team.
Improvements going into the event, we could have definitely improved our S&D. We had plans to go into strategies and potential routes we could take, but it never really came to fruition. But if we learned how to play S&D better and tighten up our hard points, it would have been a different weekend, 100%.
It is what it is. You got to learn from it. I guess you just got to keep looking forward to the next event, really.